2013, I moved into an apartment in Alma, Arkansas. It was situated right next to a very old graveyard, which I wasn't sure if it had anything to do with what would happen next. This wasn't my first time living in this apartment complex though, as I had lived there 3 times before, in 2003, 2006, and 2009. Each time I ended up in the same 1-bedroom apartment, number 208. It was always the only 1-bedroom available. During each of my previous stays, strange things would happen in the apartment. The first time I noticed that the cabinets would open, things would be in different places, and sometimes when I closed my eyes in the shower, I'd see the bathroom and shower covered in blood, with blood coming out of the shower head. When I opened my eyes, everything was back to normal. Despite these occurrences, I was still intrigued and only moved out the first time to live with my girlfriend. When we split up in 2006, I had to return to the same apartment complex, and to my surprise, the exact same day that I split up with my girlfriend, the people living in apartment 208 suddenly moved out. For the second time, I ended up in the same apartment. It seemed like a coincidence, so I didn't think much of it. But this time things were worse. I would hear movement in my walk-in closet and living room at night. The shower visions were more intense. This was also the year that the sleep paralysis began. My first sleep paralysis episode was terrifying. I was sleeping next to my new girlfriend, and at around 1 a.m. I heard the DVD rack in the living room fall and a lot of DVDs crashing to the floor. Still half asleep, I looked towards my bedroom door, which I usually kept shut. On this night, I had accidentally left the bathroom light on, and I could see the light under my bedroom door. As I turned my head to the direction of the noise I was about to call out, "Who's there?" I heard running footsteps like a child's. Then I saw the shadow of feet at the base of my bedroom door in the bathroom light. The feet shadow moved from the other side of my door to being on my side of the door, without any other shadow. In a blink of an eye, the shadow feet moved from the door to my chest and disappeared. All of this happened so fast that I couldn't move or speak. I tried to shake my girlfriend awake, but I couldn't move my arms. I went to say her name, but I couldn't speak. In a panic, I tried to sit up, but I couldn't move at all. My eyes began to get heavy, and in a second, I was dreaming of a shadow holding me down and covering my mouth. I fought and widened my eyes, but it was still there. Finally, I was able to make a noise, but it was barely a whisper. I was able to slightly move my finger and touch my girlfriend, and it was enough for her to open her eyes and ask me what was wrong. I widened my eyes in fear at my chest, and my girlfriend started shaking me. When I didn't respond, she slapped me. In an instant, the shadow was gone, and I was wide awake and able to move. My girlfriend didn't hear the DVDs crashing, and she didn't see the shadow. I experienced 3 more sleep paralysis episodes over the next few months before my girlfriend left because it freaked her out so bad. I moved out. I got married in 2007, had a son that same year, and then a daughter in 2009, but then separated from my wife. Of course, I needed a place to stay, so I moved back to my old apartment complex. It was the only place I could afford, and I had a son and daughter to take care of. The only available apartment was number 208, and I took it even though I knew it had a creepy history. After just 2 weeks, I again was plagued by bloody visions, strange noises, and terrifying episodes of sleep paralysis. I couldn't take it anymore, so I moved out and stayed with my family. My wife and I eventually got back together, but when we split for good in 2013, I needed a new place to live with my kids. I found a 2-bedroom apartment in the same complex, but it was right next to the dreaded apartment 208. I didn't want to believe in the superstition surrounding the place, but strange things started happening again. One night I heard my kids giggling and playing with their toys in their room. I called out to them, but then realized they weren't even there. I had dropped them off at their mother's house the night before. I went to the room to find the toys scattered everywhere and the TV playing cartoons. I turned off the TV and bolted out of the room, leaving the lights on all night. Things only got worse when my 3-year-old daughter started talking to an imaginary friend named Old Mom. According to her, Old Mom was nice to her because she looked like her little girl who had burned up in a fire. It was enough to give me chills. My daughter would often point behind me saying that Old Mom was there watching us. I couldn't take it anymore. One night as I was reading my kids a book called The Monster in My Closet, I asked my daughter to draw Old Mom for me. She sat up in bed, pencil in hand, and started drawing. But as she drew, she kept looking up and around the room. It was as if she could see Old Mom standing right there. When she finished, she handed me the picture and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was a crude drawing of a woman with wild hair and blackened skin, as if she had been burned alive. I knew I had to get my family out of there. Some might say it was all in my daughter's imagination, but I know what I saw and heard. There was something evil in that apartment complex, something that I never want to experience again. We moved out that weekend, and I never looked back.